Hey guys, welcome to The Right Angle, bringing you news, culture, and politics all from a conservative perspective. So now, as you all know, we have Kamala Harris, who is running as President of the United States. She is a person who was not elected. She's a person who was not chosen by the people. She's a person who was placed by the Democrat machine and, to my amazement, accepted by the Democrat Party at large. So, in this bloodless coup, the previous nominee, Joe Biden, was simply discarded. I mean, that guy was tossed away, like expired milk or something. How could someone who barely got 800 votes in the Democrat primaries in 2020 win the nomination without a single word from the American people? How can someone who was just simply chosen, as in Joe Biden's words, I'm putting a person of color who's a woman as a VP? He said those words, so she was literally only chosen for her identity. How can a person who's failed at the border, who's failed at many different initiatives, who's lost over 94% of her staff because they couldn't work with her, just get promoted like that? Why do Democrats always fail up? I don't understand it. Anyway, we'll save that topic for another day. Today, we're here to talk about the charm campaign that is currently going on. This massive campaign by the media, the Democrat Party, everyone out there on the left side that is trying to make Kamala Harris into a person that she is not. And this is happening currently with all Americans, but it's especially happening with Black Americans.
So I want to be the president of the United States,
Fantastic.
just like you.
Yes, good. Now, why do you want to be president?
Because I'm looking up to you, and I've always looked up to President Barack Obama, and I've always wanted to say that I'll be the second or third African American president,
Yes.
and I've always put that dream in me.
And so it shall be.
So this kid wanting to be president of the United States, that's fine. Every American child has the ability and the right to this nation as a citizen to reach for the stars. That's the land of opportunity. So there's nothing against this kid. He's just being used as a prop. Every 4 years, without fail, the Democrats find a new way to charm Black people. And Black people fall for it over and over and over and over again. It's so nauseating. For Black people, it's like, I don't know, it's like going to that restaurant that you hate, but you kind of just go there because it's convenient. You kind of just go there because it's familiar, even though once you eat that food, it's not going to be a very pleasant thing coming out the other side later that night. That's exactly what the relationship is for Black people and the Democrat Party. They roll out these rosy picture, perfectly framed, perfectly scripted elements that is all about you, and then once they got your vote, they forget about you. And they not only forget about you, they find a way to blame the other side. For instance, if you live in New York, Baltimore, LA, uh, Pittsburgh, any of the major cities across this country who's Democrat run, and you're blaming Republicans for your problems and you give Democrats more power, you are the problem. If a party has been running a city for 60, 70, 80, 100 years like Chicago and nothing's changed, think about why that is, right? So for me, I've grown up in the Black community. Obviously, I'm a Black guy. I grew up in extreme poverty. My mom was very hardworking, but we lived in a single home. Actually, till this day, I've never even seen my father. I don't know what his face looks like. I know his name only because I read a piece of paper. But I'm one of the lucky ones who've worked my way up to a respectful life. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful family. And that, I think, really is more because of the strength of my mother, in spite of every obstacle that was against her. And also me, because, naturally I'm a curious person. And that's just led me to different parts of my life. But from what I've seen in my community, Black folks, and I'm talking about like multi-generational Blacks from America. I'm not talking about, folks from Africa, Jamaica. I'm not talking about those Black folks. I'm talking about actual descendants from slaves like I am. I'm a descendant of slave. My family got here over I think it was like 9 to 10 generations ago. And those are the people I'm talking about, descendants from slaves like me. Those people will vote for a paper bag just because it's brown. Because the hatred for whites in that population, I've seen it, I know it. It runs so deep that they'll actually vote against their own interests, will vote against their own interests just to spite white folks. And that's what you're going to see now with the Kamala Harris campaign. And the Democrats know this because long ago they turned away from the Ku Klux Klan and they said, okay, well, we can't force the blacks to do X, Y, Z. So let's just trick them to thinking X, Y, Z. And we'll get them to do things like segregate themselves in sororities, ask for all black this and that. You see that happening today where blacks are trying to self segregate themselves, where back then the Democrat Party thought, okay, well, let's just make laws like Jim Crow to do it. But now today you have blacks actually doing it on their own accord because they think it's empowerment because the Democrat Party has tricked them so badly. It's one of the reasons why I do this because the black population in this country is lost. We'll vote for like the scummiest of scumbags if they shuck and jive in the right way. We'll vote for them if they promise handouts in the right way. We'll vote for them if they speak a certain way that connects with us, like, I don't know, Kamala going to a music shop buying old school 60s hits from the black community, or going to a barbecue and doing the dance or whatnot, the line dance. Damn policy discussions. No, we don't need to talk about the illegal immigration that's impacting black jobs. That's not a racist thing because most black people work lower income jobs across the country in which every one of these millions of illegals coming here are taking from our people, causing your children, causing your fathers, causing your mothers to lose out on their work or to get lower wages because you keep voting for the people that perpetuate this process for people that come in here to replace you. You are the ones that are voting against your own interests. And we have an example like that where we see this pandering and this massive charm offensive from the Democrats related to this half Jamaican, half Indian person, Kamala Harris. And we're seeing how that's playing out in the population of Black America today.
Vote for? Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a Black woman.
Yeah.
Because they skin folk, not Kim folk.
I
think it goes back to what somebody was saying, where it's not voting for someone, but majority will vote for somebody else just to
hold on. Let me line this out.
I think majority.
Is it only because she a Black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
Okay, so we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they are in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco, ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more Black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in the office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's Black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for, is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today.
So you see the response from that woman. She will vote for Kamala not because of policy, not because of character, not because of anything else, but the fact that she looks like her. And Kamala is half Jamaican, half Indian. She's not black. So she's voting for Kamala because she's kind of black. I mean, that's insane. She's not voting for her because of policy reasons. She's not voting for her for any ideals that Kamala has. Name one policy proposal that she's said. Everything you look at when it comes to Kamala Harris is uber left, meaning communism. She was the most liberal senator in the United States Senate before she got chosen. She voted on the farthest left ideas. She's the author of the Green New Deal. You want to know why your car prices are going up? Because of Joe Biden's EV mandate, and that was part of the Green New Deal? You want to know why you can't afford a new car? Why your used parts are so expensive? Okay, well, there you go. I mean, you're going to vote for the same things that are making your life a terrible mess. And it's not only economics. It's war. It's the illegal immigration. It's everything that's happening. It's the deaths that are being caused all around the world because of this inept administration. You have to understand that we are, for all intents and purposes, the main empire in the entire world. Where America goes, so does the world. And our enemies are chomping at the bit to get at us. We just had run-ins with the Chinese and with the Russians just like a day ago. They're flying sorties through our identification zone to test us. And all of our enemies are doing the same. You want to know why there's war in Gaza? It's because Joe Biden gave money to Iran, who paid their surrogates, which is Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, to attack Israel. That's what happened. That's what's happening. But you're going to vote for her because it makes you feel good, because she looks like you. It doesn't make any sense. We see what they got us, into. We see what's happened because of what those feelings that people have. We see the pain that has been caused. We see our groceries quadruple over time. And we're going to get more of that if you vote for your feelings. Now, we're going to continue to explore the Black cultural impacts of decision making as it relates to political means and political delivery throughout the whole scape of the country and how that's working and how it's transforming. You did see there that a Black gentleman had to, basically task her with, hey, this is why you shouldn't do that. We cannot expect things to change when we continue to do the same things. The definition for that is insanity. But anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining The Right Angle. Like, share, subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. And always remember, stay curious, ask questions, think critically, and then you will find the truth.